Crabapple, otherwise known as the wild apple, is native to the temperate zone of the northern hemisphere. The crabapple's botanical family is the Rosaceae, otherwise known as the rose family. The tree blooms in late summer and fruits in the fall. Blossoms can be white, pink, or red and look just like wild roses. As far as the market price, they're free in local parks and around the streets of Toronto, so go foraging.
All those crab apples. They're quite high. I don't think the tree's been pruned in a while, but definitely lots that I can sort of grab and reach to. So next is just going to knock on the door and ask if it's okay if I can pick these crab apples. So I'm just going to see if they're home, if I can get some of these crab apples. It's always good to knock on the door and make sure you don't want someone coming out and yelling at you while you're picking, saying they had an intention for it. There are tons on the tree, but of course I do just want to check in. I'm going to give the doorbell a ring. I just heard the doorbell. Hopefully someone comes to the door. Hi there.
Hi.
Hey. I'm your neighbor just from down the street. I was wondering if I could pick some of your crab apples out front.
Yeah, no problem. Absolutely. There's so many. I don't actually ever really pick them.
I'm gonna make some crab apple jelly. I have a school project on the go, so yeah.
Amazing.
Maybe I'll drop some jelly off for you.
Go for it.
Okay, thanks so much.
No
Bye.
problem.
Okay, so these are crab apples right here. They're about the size of a cherry. They're not something that you're gonna buy in the grocery store. Same with service berries, and there's a lot of local fruit actually that you can put to use just from around our city parks. So I'm probably gonna pick about double this. These are great, like I said, in crabapple jelly, using them with pork, just spreading it on toast with nice sharp cheeses, and also can be really nice with game meat. Yeah, look for some in your neighborhood. You're definitely gonna find some, and I'm gonna share the recipes on the blog. Enjoy. Whenever I find a new sort of food product or a product I haven't cooked a lot with, I always like to come to my cookbooks to sort of get inspiration from, you know, just taking a look through and seeing what you can do with them. And just by going through some of my books, already I'm really into cocktail making. You know, can I make a crab apple syrup to go in a cocktail, or preserving here? Can I do some sort of pickled crab apple or a jelly, that sort of thing. I know bitters too. You can use crab apples in bitters. So there's lots of different things that you can do with crab apples. One of my favorite books that I like to go to, especially for local fruits and produce, sort of foraged products. I've got Native Harvest here, and then also Food That Really Schmucks. They have a great recipe on pickled crab apples, and I'm actually going to use this one. Today I'm going to share this one because I have made the pickled crab apples. They're really, really awesome, and I definitely recommend this book. But again, like with a product, just going and looking at your books and sort of seeing, you know, what inspires you and what can sort of get your mind going, and then, you know, crack them open and see if they've got recipes. And often, you know, with crab apples, because they aren't as common, you may want to look in your cookbook around pears and apples, looking more at sort of sour pears and apples. So a recipe I'm showing today, I actually have a little juice business on the side and make syrup, so I thought I'd show you this one, and I'll post the pickled crabs on the blog. But today what we're going to do is we're going to go through, take the stems off of the crab apples, give them a slice in half, pop the seeds out. You're going to notice it's important to cut them in half because some of them are bad. You don't want to use those. We're going to take 1 cup fruit to 1 cup sugar. This is a sugar cane. It's a nice sugar here. To 1 cup water. Once the crab apples come to a boil, bring them to sort of medium-low to a simmer, and let those simmer for about half an hour. So once it's all ready to go, you want to strain out with your china cap here into a container. You can take a wooden spoon to just sort of push through all that liquid, because a lot of the liquid holds in the fruit. And after, you're going to notice you end up with a nice syrup. You can use, depending on how sweet you want it, about 1 ounce to a maybe 12 to 14 ounce cup of soda water, and you've just made yourself a crab apple soda. Or use that 1 ounce of crab apple syrup in a fancy cocktail, maybe a crab apple Manhattan or crab apple syrup in a nice hot cider.